placebo and nocebo. This is going to be massive, right? Very powerful stuff. So when you go through this learning, I want you to think about the placebos and nocebos that you set for in your life. I want you to really start to look at what does it mean for you and the power of it. What's added to your life as a result? What's being taken from as a result? So by the end of this, you're going to learn the power of placebo and nocebo and biochemistry. The outcomes for you, growth, wisdom, and awareness. As I said, it's pretty powerful stuff. So we're going to talk about placebo. Placebo being the mere expectation of betterment. So the mere fact, we use like a drug situation, you're ill, you take this drug that people say that's going to make you feel better. The mere expectation that that drug is going to make you feel better creates a biochemical reaction in your body 40,000 times more powerful than heroin. Purely the thought that this really works creates this change and the reality. It's powerful. Thing is with this drug that we have inside, this chemical compound, this reaction at the mere expectation of betterment, it's free. We have an endless supply of it. It's natural. So it's about realizing this and starting to think, how can I tap into this resource? How can I use it to affect my own change, my own transformation, my own growth? The mere expectation of betterment creates a reaction 40,000 times more powerful than heroin. It's crazy. You need to start to tap into this. So when you're sick, when there's things going on for you, start to tap into your own natural resources. Start to use this drug, which is 40,000 times more powerful than anything on this planet, heroin. If we could get control of our sense of certainty, where we were the director of it, stop seducing ourselves or stop letting others control us, we could create the chemical we need to heal us. Because we are the makers of our bodies. Go to a deeper level of your awareness and you'll realize that you are the creator of all the molecules in your body. And you can therefore influence all that happens within your mind and your body. There's no indifference between the mind and the body. The body is a physical representation of the mind. That's the truth. The mind and body are interconnected, interrelated. There's no indifference. What happens in the mind happens in the body. What happens in the body is a representation of what goes on in the mind. So we have placebo, the mere expectation of something can be better for our betterment. We also have nocebo, the thought that something can destroy your body can actually create that reality. Again, that's the truth. So we talk about the word cancer. Now, even when you just say the word cancer, you kind of shudder. Like you get this ghostly, sickly feeling of that's the end, or it really resonates this emotion. So therefore, simply the word cancer is a nocebo, right? Say you go to the doctor and the doctor straight away just says you have cancer. Straight away you're thinking, oh, I'm done, I'm gone, I'm going to lose my hair, I'm going to get frail, and I'm done. And then what he or she does is they attribute a survival rate. 80% of people die. You're like, oh, of course. Of course I'm in that 80% of people. So now, the word cancer in itself is a nocebo. Then we attach a survival rate to it, which is like a nocebo, so it's like a double nocebo. So now you're thinking, well, that's it. And this is the exact reason why you say, oh, Bill, he just had a headache. He's always strong and fit. He went to the doctor. Doctor said he had cancer and his body just gave way within 2 weeks and that was it. He was done. Cancer doesn't strike that quick. What does strike that quick is the nocebo in your body, your mind telling yourself and your body that that's it. We're done. Because what happens? Your body and your mind, it becomes done. So what happens with this is you take that information and translate that into reality. Cancer. People literally relinquish their power to the word used by the doctor. The actual statistic or survival rate could be a collective nocebo. 80% die, therefore based off that fact, I will die if I have cancer. You could be part of the 20%. So the mere expectation that something is going to do you damage, it does. We talk about indigenous culture and the pointing bone. If someone points that bone at you in indigenous culture, you're done. Your body gives in, you get ill, you get sick, and you die. The mere expectation of death, illness, and sickness as a result of being pointed at with a stick, a pointing bone, creates that reality. Nocebo is powerful. There's so many nocebos that go on in your world that you wouldn't even be aware of. So I want to read this little paragraph to you, and this is from Deepak Chopra. And it takes a while for you to really sink your teeth into it. And you will read this a number of times and still not really be sure. I've read it probably 50 times. And each time I read it again, I always take something different from it. And that's why it's so amazing. The body at the cellular level. Go beyond the cells, you end up with molecules. Go beyond the molecules and you end up with atoms. These atoms are not material objects, they are particles. And the particles are not material objects either. They are fluctuations of energy and information in a huge void of energy and information. You get so far beyond the facade of molecules and you start ending up in a cloud of nothing. You go beyond that cloud of nothing and you are left with absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing is the something that is. The essential raw material of the universe in non-material. The essential stuff of the universe is non-stuff. But it's not just non-stuff. It's thinking non-stuff. The cells are nothing other than fields of information. Those fields of information are nothing but self-interpretations. What this is saying is that your world is nothing but fields of information, right? And what we do is we take this information and it goes through our own internal filtering process. And from that, we create our perceptions and interpretations of the world. It's the same as placebo and nocebo. So I want you to really reflect in your world. What are some things that, you hold to be true, or not necessarily hold to be true, but what are some things that you tell yourself and you create that reality? Because there'll be hundreds of things. And the truth is, what a lot of people do is they take an event or a situation or experience and they go into that event, situation, or experience with negativity. This is going to be horrible. It's going to be painful. I'm not going to enjoy this. What do they get? They get a painful, horrible experience. Why? Because they created that reality. If you had simply gone into it and tricked your brain and said, this is going to be magical, it's going to be the best thing in the world, then you know what? It will be 100% better than what you ended up with. Because you are not your event, you are not your situation. You are someone in an event or a situation that adds and collects information which creates your reality. So I want you to think about the realities that you want to create. How do you want to exist? How do you want to live? You need to start to create that reality. The truth is, what we focus on becomes real for us. Whatever we focus on becomes our reality, both from a biochemical relationship and a mindset focus. The truth is, our mind doesn't know what's true and false. Therefore, it's better to make our mind believe that it's true than not. Because if we believe it to be true, our mind will believe it to be true as well. We'll start to act in accordance with that. Then we'll start to identify with it. Then it forms part of our story. Therefore, our interpretations and perceptions become that reality. Pretty powerful. Until we change our core set of beliefs, our sense of certainty, then whatever we are certain about will be our experience and form our belief. As I said before, interpretations of an event are not the actual event. It is our experience of the event. So know that if you want to change the experience, you can in an instant if you choose to. But to change that event or situation, you need to create the interpretation prior to then transform that reality. Some of these learnings, you might think they're really complicated and difficult. But the essence with this is our body has a chemical inside that's 40,000 times more powerful than heroin, and it's there to help heal us. On top of that, we have something called nocebo, the mere expectation that something's going to be bad, horrible, nasty. It will be, and our mind and body will act in accordance with that. Our thoughts become our reality. If you want to change your reality, it starts with your thinking. If you want to change any experience that you have now or upcoming, change the information you collect prior to. Rewire it, recircuit it. Create a new perception and interpretation of the event, and you create a new version of reality. That's the truth.